Leader, thank you. Senator Weber.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the sponsor yield for questions?
Senator McKeon, will you yield to a question?
Through the Speaker, of course I would.
Through you, Mr. Speaker. I, like Assemblyman DeCroce, oppose this bill because the people of our district are overtaxed. This is another fee and tax placed on people who live on the lake. But I wanted to ask the sponsor of the bill whether he was familiar with the Greenwood Lake Commission progress report that was published back in 2006.
Through the Speaker, yes, I am.
Okay. So then, through you, Mr. Speaker, the sponsor is aware that the commissioners of the Greenwood Lake Commission consider themselves to be volunteers.
Through the Speaker, I would agree. And I would, if it's responsive to the question, through the Chair, this bill's impetus has been through the voluntary commission known as the Greenwood Lake Commission.
And again, through you, Mr. Speaker, the sponsor then is aware of this report and is aware of the latest budget that the commissioners of the Greenwood Lake Commission have proposed.
I don't know if I can cite a chapter and verse, Mr. Speaker. I know that this would bring between $150,000 to $170,000 that would be used for very essential ecologically responsible management of Greenwood Lake.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, then I would ask the sponsor, is he aware that the Greenwood Lake Commission actually proposes a budget close to $1.3 million annually?
Through the Speaker, whatever the proposal might be, I presume that will follow through the ordinary course and go through the Budget Commission. And if Assemblyman DeCroce and yourself would like to stand behind proper resources for the ecological management of Greenwood Lake, I'd be happy to co-sponsor that along with you.
Again, Mr. Speaker, through you, you're aware, Assemblyman, that the commission chairs, or the commissioners who consider themselves volunteers now, have proposed paying the commission chairs $9,000 a year.
I'm not focused on that. As a matter of fact, though, I know one of the chair of that commission has for the past 6 years donated all of his, beyond his time, office space and other costs and expenses out of his own pocket to try to keep the management of that lake in a way that, again, was ecologically responsible.
Mr. Speaker, again, through you, you're aware then in this progress report that they also propose that the commissioners, not the chairs, but the commissioners get paid $6,000 a year.
The answer is yes. The report speaks for itself. So if you know,
and that the commissioners should be put into the state pension system.
The report can speak for itself.
And that they're proposing executive director at $90,000, a secretary at $45,000, an inspector at $60,000, an assistant at $40,000, an educator at $40,000, a part-time weed harvester operator and support staff at $38,000 a year, general consultants at $60,000, an attorney at $50,000, an accountant at $20,000, a GIS consultant, whatever that is, at $30,000. You're aware of all these staff positions that they're proposing.
If I can, through the chair, if the desire of the budget of the proposal that's being read is to fund that through $30 a boat, that's going to be primarily focused on cleaning up the weeds out of the choked lake, it doesn't add up, doesn't make sense.
Again, Mr. Speaker, through you, the sponsor is aware that the commission has proposed purchasing a headquarters for $1.8 million.
The proposal by the volunteer commission is certainly not funded through this bill, Mr. Speaker. Rather, this is about $30 per boat for the purposes of coming up with about $150,000 to clean up the ecological mess that's been made and allowed to happen.
Mr. Speaker, on the bill. Mr. Speaker, I think it's very clear what the Greenwood Lake Commission's plan is for the Greenwood Lake Commission, why they want the fees from people in the Greenwood Lake area. Yes, they want to clean the harvest and they want to fund a lot of positions and enter the state pension system as well. I urge my colleagues to vote against this bill.
Senator, thank you. Seeing no one further, Madam Clerk, open the machine for a vote.
extensive damage to those landfills that we have to repair. Identifying these individuals without license plates, forcing them to have license plates.
Is everyone recorded who wishes to be recorded?
Tightening these
Madam Clerk, close the machine, take a tally.